When the merchant asked Harshavardhan and Vishpala if she could touch the ship to help move it, Vishpala, with her husband's permission, touched the ship, and it began to move. Seeing this, an evil thought entered the merchant's mind. Why don't I take her with me? If the ship ever gets stuck again, she can touch it and free it. With this wicked idea, he pulled Vishpala into the ship with him. The ship began sailing. Harshavardhan shouted, but by then the ship had already gone too far. Vishpala was extremely beautiful. Seeing her, the merchant's sinful desires grew. He expressed his wish to make her his wife, but the queen clearly refused. Still, the merchant, intoxicated by her beauty, kept following her around and harassing her. Tired of his advances, Queen Vishpala prayed to the sun god, asking him to bless her with leprosy so she could protect her chastity. The sun god answered her prayer and her body became deformed with the disease. Meanwhile, King Harshavardhan, weeping and devastated, began walking along the riverbank. He still held on to hope that if the ship ever passed by again, he might rescue his wife. But when he couldn't find any trace of the ship, he started living in a hermitage near the river with a group of sages. There he served the sages, tended cows, and made cow dung cakes. By the grace of goddess Lakshmi, those cow dung cakes turned into gold. In a few days, he had accumulated a huge pile of golden bricks. One day, the same merchant who had taken away Harshavardhan's wife arrived at that very place with his ship. Harshavardhan recognized him at once. Showing the merchant the golden bricks, he told the merchant that if he took him along, he would give him the golden bricks. The merchant also recognized Harshavardhan, but, tempted by the gold, he allowed him to board the ship. Once the ship set sail, the merchant, driven by greed, threw Harshavardhan into the river a short distance away. Harshavardhan cried out for help, and Queen Vishpala heard his screams. She quickly threw a piece of wood into the sea. Holding onto that piece of wood, Harshavardhan floated and eventually reached a toll bridge where ships passing by were charged a tax. Seeing a stranger there, the workers asked who he was and where he came from. Harshavardhan replied that he was a man filled with sorrow. The local people took him to the king of that region. When the king asked for his identity, Harshavardhan said he was a miserable man, wandering place to place in distress. He humbly requested the king to grant him some small job. The king, being kind-hearted, appointed him as the gardener of the royal garden. The king had only one daughter, and every day, a flower garland was made for her and delivered by the gardener's assistant. The princess asked the assistant who had been making the garlands recently,